We're going to talk about AEW Collision and the guy formerly known as Chick Magnet Punk, who was on that episode of Heels, but no one cares about because AJ Lee was also on that same
you mean
episode.
It's Saturday night's mid-card?
Yes. So for a while, CM Punk was probably Fretz. We're not talking about All In for the next 20 seconds. CM Punk. CM Punk had been carrying around a black bag, and everybody wanted to know what's in the bag. What's in the bag? So he brings out the non-Burberry AEW World Title and proceeds to do a spray paint job and put an X over the E. Does this whole promo with Tony Scabione saying that he is, tell me when you heard this before, the real world champion because he never lost the title.
Dude, he should have straight up said, I'm the king of Twitter. That's it. Because CM Punk pretty much is the king of Twitter. Because he likes to complain on Twitter.
And in real life.
And in real life.
Yeah, no, this is... I don't know. Like, he went around he's like, I never lost a title. And that is correct. But do you know why you never lost the title, Phil?
Let's talk about why you didn't lose a title.
Because you got fired.
Because you're a bitch.
Yeah. You got fired, and you tried to fight the executives of the company, which, by the way, recently just re-signed multi-year deals. So congratulations to them. So all of the Elite re-signed multi-year deals. So congratulations to them for staying with the company that they created. That's probably a good thing for everybody involved. But yeah, I don't know where this is going, if this is going anywhere. And this is the biggest story right now, outside of RVD being on Dynamite right now, for AEW. That CM Punk spray painted the very pretty AEW World Title. But you know what should be a bigger deal? The fact that we are less than 4 weeks away from what is supposed to be their biggest show ever, and we don't have a match announced.
Dude,
whatsoever.
This may not surprise you any way, shape, or form.
Probably not.
But this is exactly what WCW would do. Like I've been watching a lot of 1997 WCW lately.
Oh, you're progressing.
Yeah, and they just don't announce a lot of matches for pay-per-views until the pay-per-view. like oh, Rey Mysterio's on this card. Word. Cool. What Conan? Huh. What's going on here? And like, if anything, they're like, oh, by the way, our main event for this Sunday's pay-per-view, it's Sting. No, it's not. It's 1997. It's Lex Luger and the Giants versus. So okay, here's what happened the last time.
Okay.
It was uncensored 1997.
Ooh.
It was Team Roddy Piper versus Team WCW versus Team NWO, 4-man per team, and Roddy Piper brought out these 3 jobbers in a really weird segment.
Okay.
And like never got their names. And then on the go home show, Flair comes out, he's like, hey, Piper, why don't you work with the Horsemen? Woo! And then Piper's just like, okay. And you never see those 3 guys again. It's just Team Horseman, Team WCW, and Team NWO. And it's just like, what the fuck kind of build is this for the pay-per-view? And that's kind of what AEW does. They just don't really know what the fuck they're doing. I don't think did the wrestlers know who they're going to be wrestling on this card?
I need to know who's booking this shit. Like I really want to know. Here's the thing. It's one thing to have back-to-back pay-per-views a week from each other. You have All In at Wembley and then All Out in Chicago. That's a clusterfuck in and of itself. You know, it's another thing to laud this as the first show in Wembley Stadium in 31 years since WWE did it at, SummerSlam. And for all metrics that I've read and I've looked at, they broke over 50,000. It's going close to 80, which good for them. Okay.
I don't believe that.
We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. It could be just wrestling working. You know, it could be just them working, the media and whatever. But they sold a lot of tickets, is what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
Yes. No, it's. I don't want to downplay their ticket sales, but I don't think it's 80,000.
Yeah, they sold a lot of tickets. They beat I believe it's well over 50 or close to 50, easily, for what they sold. So, yes, good for them.
Yes, which is a huge success.
Yeah, great for them.
Especially for not having a match announced.
Yeah.
You know, now, the thing that people are going to be there for.
Yeah. Now, why are all these people showing up? Why has this not been marketed? You should at least, if I'm, AEW is like, you shouldn't compare AEW to WWE, but we're going to right now.
No, you have to, because WWE is a standard. We know the main event of WrestleMania in January.
Yeah. So WWE would have at least had 2 or 3 matches that you knew were going to happen, and you fill in the rest of the matches as you go along. That's what TV is for. But you know your main matches.
A whole quarter dedicated to building one card.
Yeah. And AEW hasn't done anything with this.
It's going to take a quarter hour.
Yeah. It frustrates me from a business perspective, because if this is supposed to be your biggest show ever, and from a ticket sales standpoint, it is, you should have taken over London a month ago. And gone bananas. Gone absolutely bananas. And it's kind of an afterthought at the moment. There is no match. The pay-per-view is 3 weeks away, and there is nothing. There's nothing to be like, oh, make sure you tune to All In so you can see. There's nothing.
Yeah.
There's nothing. It's disappointing. For something that should be a success, it's disappointing. I mean, that's pretty much all I have to say about it. It blows my mind. That especially with all the experience of these people you had backstage, your Big Shows, your Mark Henrys, your Shivani's, your JR, Regal for a time, no one could get this together.
Yeah, right. Like, where's William? Oh wait, William Regal's not there.
No, he's not there anymore. But like, you have JR. You have Taz. Taz was doing stuff.
All right, come on. JR is just there for a paycheck. You know what I mean? Like, you think JR's like, I don't want to book this shit.
But it should be more. And the real world title thing, like, CM Punk is really just trying to recreate Summer of Punk.
It's not working. Have you seen their ratings?
Yeah, because it's Saturday. And you know that's gonna bomb in the fall, right?
Yeah. Well, there's no football though.
There's college football on Saturday nights. They're not beating that. They're on some Saturdays they will, when it's like a light.
I don't know. WWE compete against Sunday Night Football.
That's different. Saturday college is a huge deal.
I guess, but I feel like it's more of a big deal than a day, though.
No, the nighttime game is usually the best game of the week. The night game is good. I
suppose.
Yeah, like for instance, week 1 of college football, like the Saturday night, the Saturday night game is LSU Florida State.
I mean, hey man, you know college football way more than I do.
It's a big deal.
Talking my ass here.
No, it's a big deal. It is a very, very big deal, especially in New York City. A lot of college football alumnus live in New York City. So, fun fact, this is totally, not wrestling related at all, but ESPN did a documentary several years ago. So pretty much every major college football sports team has a dedicated bar in New York City that the alumnus can go to.
Oh, that's pretty dope. That's pretty cool.
So it is crazy. 5 days of work, 1 whole day to play. Yeah, that sounds about right. It sounds like AEW. So, fact of the matter is, AEW, for God's sakes, they need to have a match booked by tonight. Like, you have AEW 200, you should be booking a match for All In at this point.
At least tell me that the fucking Dark Order is going to be on the pre-show, all right? At least tell me that.
Give me a Battle Royal or something, or whatever you guys call it.
All right, dude, have the British Bulldog Remembrance Tag Team Pole Match.
Sponsored by the Owen Hart Tournament. Like, I don't know, what are you going to do? Yeah.
Stop that.
I don't know, my God, just do something, AEW. I also love how AEW Collision, like Saturday Collision, their logo looks exactly like Monday Nitro.
No, Fred, it's not Forbidden Door. It's like All Out is like the day before or the week before.
Even with Forbidden Door, we knew what the matchups were.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, but here's the thing. They didn't need stories from those matches, which is fine, right?
Yeah.
Like Forbidden Door, I feel like doesn't really need storylines. It's
an
an all-star
attraction
game.
pay-per-view, yeah.
It's an attraction all-star game dream match scenario. So like you can get by with not having storylines, right? That's why I bought the pay-per-view. Daniel Bryan versus Okada, fuck. Yeah, okay, that's why I bought the card. Will Ospreay versus Kenny Omega turned out to be the greatest thing I've ever seen. But like I knew that was going to be good, but again, there's some backstage storyline between that match, which is also cool for the marks. But like this, you need storylines on TV leading to your pay-per-view.
Yeah, if this is your WrestleMania, you have to bring in the casual fan.
Yeah.
They're doing nothing to bring in the casual fan.
Yeah,
and
watering down your products, which you should do with the rules. Like I don't know if you talked about the rules a few weeks ago, Ricky.
No, I don't even know. Can you tell me about these rules that you're referring to? Because I'm not aware of this.
So there's a whole list of rules that AEW put out for their wrestlers, like of what they can and can't do. A lot of it makes sense.
Okay.
Like no chair shots to the head, duh. Like a lot of them are duh. Like
wait, no chair shots to the head, finally.
Yes, like this is a good thing for AEW.
Okay.
Like no bleeding in the crowd.
Duh.
Good.
Yeah,
right?
health purposes.
Health purposes.
Yeah.
No like fucking with the crowds. Like MJ would take their water or take their beer and like spill it on them or whatever.
Yeah, don't do that.
No, none of that. Which is I understand, but it's it's good.
MJF
heat.
did it to a child. That's why.
Right, but it's again great heat.
Yeah.
So, and that kid probably the best kid of that day. That kid's life, and it would have been mine. But regardless, that's a good rule, right? It's 2023. You just can't be doing that. It's on TV and internet and lawsuits and whatever.
Yeah.
But it was other things like no pile drivers.
Okay.
If no apron bumps, like if you want, but
that's the hardest part of the ring.
Exactly. There are a list of moves that if you want to do these moves, you gotta get permission from the agent. So if you want to wrestle outside the ring and like throw them into the stairs or go through the announce table, you gotta get permission from the agent, which sounds really stupid, but I'd be curious to see if these kind of rules exist in WWE as well. Which I'm assuming
surprised.
They probably do, right? At least it's not just publicized.
Because you would also have to think, because like when in wrestling terms, the agent is the person who puts together the match.
Correct.
So you would this is just the AEW is creating a hierarchy. Like probably
Yes.
WWE has, which is good.
Exactly. It's like we're reserving our high spots for the main events.
Mm-hmm. So the agent goes back to the booker, and they're like, "This is what we have," and the booker says, "No, you can't do that because we're doing this here."
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because AEW wrestling's phenomenal, but it's the same match every single time.
Mm-hmm.
There's only so many Canadian destroyers you can see in one card.
Seriously.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's only so many Spanish flies you can see on one card before you go, what the fuck am I watching?
Mm-hmm.
So it's overall the rules, in my opinion, are a good thing for AEW.
Yeah.
But it's also nerfing down what makes AEW so great, which is the acrobatics, and it's gonna expose their biggest flaw, which is storytelling.
Yeah, and that's what they really got to work on.
Right. So in a way, it's a good thing. It's gonna force their hand to be more creative, but they're not doing so well because they're not booking matches.
Yeah. And Fretz, I do see you. Do want to address. You say AEW is for the casual, it's for Bernice. AEW is specifically for remarks. That's cool. Marks are not what's going to make you money. Okay. And Tony Khan coming out all butthurt because Triple H said in a documentary about WWE trying to get Cody back that AEW was quote unquote a secondary company. Spoiler alert, it is.
It is. That's not a dig, that's a fact.
Yeah, and for Tony Khan to be butthurt and said, we're not gonna back down to no one, we're not gonna play second fiddle to no one. He came out and said that just recently after the documentary come out. You gotta start you cannot book for the marks. You will always lose. You will
Correct.
always lose.
AEW is just a company of why isn't WWE? Oh yeah,
That's why. Yeah.
no, I'm serious. Like I say that a lot because I think it's true. There's a reason why WWE does what they do. They made $410 million this quarter. That's not counting WrestleMania because WrestleMania was Q1.
Yeah.
No, WrestleMania was technically Q2 because it was April.
Yeah. It depends. It depends on where they want to put it that year.
Well, you know what? Because it might be Q1 because ticket sales were technically in Q1.
So they'll do Q1. Yeah.
So it's a mix.
Yeah.
It's probably a mix. I don't know how the breakdown works, but WWE made $400 million. AEW probably lost 40.
Yeah.
And like, there's nothing wrong with with playing to your niche, playing to your marks, that's actually a very good idea to start. You know, as a business owner, that's something I'm trying to learn. But eventually, that's not a good thing for growth. It's a good thing to get your foundation. AEW, to an extent, has that foundation. You need to expand outwards, which is what those rules are intending them to do.
Yeah.
It's just they're going to crash and burn for a little bit first.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, it's not for the casual. It needs to be for the casual. When WWE realized, the reason WWE went from essentially a PG-13 rated show to a PG show, because they figured out, hey, we're about to go public and make a crap ton of money. If we want to keep all of this money, we got to tone it down a little bit and play to the people that are going to keep giving us money. Enter John Cena, and he became a freaking star because they played to the kids.
Would you bring your 8-year-old to AEW?
No.
13?
Depends on the maturity. That's a toss up. At 14, 15 maybe. I know
15,
I know a year
15
sounds
definitely.
weird, but like 15 I'd probably be sold on. Be like, okay.
Yeah, 15 definitely, 13 probably.
Yeah.
Probably. But that 8-year-old is going to start as a WWE fan.
Of course.
And it's fine for AEW to target that older audience, because there's a lot of money to be made there. So, I would disagree with you. You're not going to make money off the marks. No, you can make a lot of money off the marks. In fact, you could possibly make more money off the marks.
But you're not going to be. You're not going to be a
You're
powerhouse.
not going to expand and become growth.
Yeah.
With just marks.
Yeah, marks will run out of money eventually.
Especially because the marks also watch WWE.
Yeah.
Not all of them, to be fair. I got a good friend at work. She only watches AEW. Her and her boyfriend only watch AEW because she's like, it was too much. We had to pick. We chose AEW. I go, it was too much. I had to pick. I chose WWE.
No, I get it. And when AEW finally books a match for All In or whatever, I am going to try to work on getting the American Blonde back on the show, because I know that is her jam. Claire, our beer aficionado. Yeah. But yeah, it's just one of those things that they got to work on. And the thing that AEW what I really enjoy AEW for, which I think would help them grow, because it seems like it's very a genuine part of it. And I think Tony Khan and the powers that be don't play it up enough. All of their philanthropic work that they do. You know,
I don't even know how much they do, to be honest.
But like, you know, they were all lauding on, like, when they first started, like, equality and all this, a lot of empowerment and charities and stuff. I know
they like heels.
Well, okay, heels was a bad idea. But like all that other stuff that they like to do, they don't play up all of that stuff. Where you see WWE, they have these. You've been to a live event where they have those packages where they're like, it's literally just all the wrestlers in the crowd like hugging little kids and stuff like that. You know. Like doing those, like, I don't think AEW plays up all the like the off-camera work that their performers do. We're like saying hi to little kids and stuff like that. Where WWE, there's a video package for them for all of that. Freaking, they have the video package of Montez holding the random baby.
Yeah, which is banned in AEW now. In their opening package.
You know. Like, it's just...
Yeah, no, WWE loves bragging about their philanthropy. They're like, hey, we're in Saudi Arabia. I know you don't like this. Look at all the philanthropy we're doing.
Look at all the work. We work the Boys and Girls Club. We're at the Special Olympics,
good.
You know?
I'm glad you're doing the philanthropy in a dirty country.
You know,
like,
even for SummerSlam week, which we're about to talk about, we're doing a philanthropic meetup with I forgot who, it's like Liv and Cody or some shit like that.
Yeah.
You know,
awesome. Yeah, and the Special Olympics, they're doing something big with the Special Olympics. They make sure Titus O'Neil is out there with Hulk Hogan. That's close enough.
It's the only reason Titus kept the job for so long, because he's a.
I mean, but to be fair though, he deserves that job because he's really fucking.
He's
good
a good philanthropist. No, he is.
And he likes it. He enjoys it. He loves it. And you know what? We need more people like Titus O'Neil to forgive Hulk Hogan.
Or to give out belts at WrestleMania before the show starts.
Dude, some of that at WrestleMania was a little much. Like, I know that.
I mean, they also did it for SummerSlam last year too.
I know, but it's like, guys, you're doing this 2 or 3 times on both nights. Like, we get it. You're good people. Like, you're appealing. You want WrestleMania on cable. I get it. I get it.
Yeah, I mean, but listen, AEW can learn a lot from the way WWE brands itself.
I want AEW to be better. And what Tony Khan should have said to that Triple H, here's what Tony Khan should have said to that Triple H comment. He just went straight Mitch McConnell and just froze at the podium and said fucking nothing.
Yeah, just don't let it
It's
phase
nothing.
you.
Just don't say anything.
Yeah.
Don't say anything. Because if you're gonna say something, you gotta back it up. In this shit, CM Punk holding a stupid belt that he doesn't want to talk about.
Doesn't talk about how he lost
something.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not that something. And your EVPs and your Young Bucks and your Kenny Omegas also don't want to talk about it.
It's not good.
It's not good. You don't rattle the cage backstage. Rattle the cage on screen, please.
Yeah, literally. Case in point. Before we move on to actual SummerSlam stuff, Montreal screw job. WWE literally in less than 24 hours took a real life situation and turned it into a storyline to create the greatest heel of all time in Mr. McMahon.
Yeah, literally, Brett screwed Brett. It took him 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Austin got his neck broke, and Owen Hart had a shirt that said, "I broke your neck."
Mm-hmm. It's like, boom, let's
Brian
go.
Pillman died, and Vince McMahon interviewed his wife on TV the next day.
Yeah, sometimes
They shouldn't have done the last one.
No, they shouldn't have done the last one. No.
They should not have done the last one.
But it's one of those things, like, if it comes out that something happened, use it to your advantage.
Yes, for storyline.
Use your advantage. I mean, even, like, for instance, the...
Or don't.
Yeah.
Or don't. This is pussyfooting in the middle.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, even when we went to... Last time we went to Survivor Series, everybody knew Charlotte and Becky did not like each other. Like, everybody knew it wasn't storyline, but what WWE said is that, no, it's storyline, and you're going to fight it out for everybody to see.
It is now.
Yeah. And it worked. It was a great match.
And luckily, both Charlotte and Becky are professional enough to be like, okay, I don't like you, you don't like me, but we were once friends, let's make some money.
Exactly. So... And they got to realize
because they don't like each other, but they respect each other.
Yeah.
And that's above all, because they came up together, right?
Yeah.
And they understand they're going to go in the Hall of Fame together, like, you know.
Yeah, it's going to work out. But anyway, yeah, AEW just it's okay to learn. Put it that way. It's okay to learn AEW.
Yes, I'm rooting for you. I really hope you can be a better number 2.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with being a number 2.